The following is not meant for children, has been edited by Cute Stuff, and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back. I am MasterAelix, and this is MasterAelix's Build Love Time. Or, more easily said, MasterAelix's BLT. The videos in this series where I go over character builds for some of my favorite RPGs. In this video, I plan to show, step by step, how to make a character build that I really enjoy, and explain why I enjoy it, and hopefully you will too. Now, I like to make fun and flavorful character builds, something that leans more into ROLE play instead of ROL play. However, it never hurts to give yourself some numerical advantages from time to time, as a treat. Now, my way is far from the only way to build characters. This is just one character built in a way I think is fun. Hopefully, I've done a good enough job that you would want to play this character too. However, feel free to change things to make it a character you do want to play. Now, as I go through this build, I'm going to go into detail into about what decisions I've made and why I made those decisions. But what I won't be doing is reading the books to you. First off, that's real boring. And second, that removes your need to get your own copies of the books. I love these games, and I'd love for you to support all of the publishers, so please go buy their books. Now, let's get the ingredients set out and warm up the oven. It's time to build us this BLT.
I have spoken to human resources, and the 15% pay cuts will be implemented. I have made sure to bribe the EPA about the latest mining operations. The limousine has been washed and will be ready when you get downstairs. Will there be anything more, Mr. Chairman?
Today's BLT is for the Power Rangers RPG made by Renegade Games. The character today is Kohaku Hayate, the Orange Ranger Bodyguard. Kohaku was born and raised within the walls of Raiden's corporation, so they had control over his mental and physical development. He's a huge-bodied man, but fiercely loyal. So when the day came for the CEO to choose a bodyguard, well, there were very few options, and none nearly as good. Now that he's been plugged into the Morphin grid, he uses his powers to defend the CEO. So, let's get into layers of this BLT, shall we? The books you'll need to get from Renegade Games to make the characters I've made them here are the Power Rangers Core Rulebook, A Jump Through Time, and Across the Stars. Influence. This big-bodied bodyguard really needs to get as many advantages as he can get, and with one of those influences I want already having a mandatory hang-up, there's no reason not to take a second. So, for the first influence, I took Agency from Across the Stars. He's an agent of the Raiden Corporation. This influence needs you to select a skill to give bonuses to, so for this time I'm selecting Survival. Sometimes he needs to go out into the woods and find things or bury things. The second influence is Augmented, also from Across the Stars. This is a fantastic influence and it really fits this guy's durable character. This comes with a mandatory hang-up, which makes him weak against a certain kind of element, and this time I went with Acid. Figured that while he may be resistant to a lot of things, Acid would be one thing that would thwart him, plus it makes him think to be more evasive than just stand there and tank it. This young man has been sculpted since birth, at Raiden Hospital, raised in Raiden Daycare, to be the man he is today. He gets the origin by design, which is a great one. Its perk, Special Program, allows your character to get a choice of general perk. And for this big guy, I went with the form perk, Ranger Operator from A Jump Through Time. This does have some prerequisites, but they're easy to acquire. It's 2 personal power, which would be no problem at all, and a D4 in survival, so we just have to be aware of that. This origin also gives us a Smarts Essence, and from the short list, I chose Culture as the skill. Role. This nasty fellow is an Orange Ranger. a role found in A Jump Through Time. It's a good balance between teamwork and defenses. They get the classic Power Ranger perk, It's Morphin Time, which is what makes Power Rangering possible. But they also get the perk Cunning Plan, which is very nice and only gets better over time. Keep your eye on the bonuses you get from it because it goes up every single time you level up. They also get the perk Modified Shell, and at this point it's level 1, allowing you to pick 2 bonuses from a list of 4. The first I chose is Comic Flair, and while this armor isn't necessarily funny, this power allows you to help an ally out, so it falls under helping the person you are guarding. The second one I selected is Power Plating, which allows you to spend personal power for more armor, so that is very nice. Orange Ranger gives 2 social essence, with the skills being split up between a +1 to performance and +1 to deception. There is also a +1 to speed essence, which goes into finesse, which is nice because that's one of the 2 main combat stats. Gear. Orange Ranger and Ranger Operator have now preset the gear that we have, so there's no choice in the matter. But these are all very nice things. The first is a basic wrist communicator. The second is that their power morpher has been swapped to an RPM morpher thanks to Ranger Operator. And instead of a choice of power weapons, we get a Nitro Blaster and a Rail Saber, both from Ranger Operator. These are both very solid choices of weapons. Essence Step. The Essence Step is an important step for any character made in the Essence 20 system. It's a place for us to focus on skills or diversify in skills. This time, there's only one thing we have a prerequisite to keep in mind. However, the rest is up to us. And using the suggested spread of 4-3-3-2, here's how I set things up. The first +4 goes into speed, which is probably our most important essence score because it has so many important skills for us to have. As for the skills, I'm putting 1 into driving because he is a chauffeur and I need it for Zord combat. 1 into finesse, as that is one of the main combat skills. 1 into initiative, so he can stay ahead of attacks directed at himself and his charge. And 1 into targeting, so he can use his ranged attacks. The first +3 goes into strength. As a bodyguard, and as something I want to set up in the future, all 3 points are going into conditioning. He is a very tough cookie. The second +3 goes into the smarts essence. 2 skill levels are going into the survival, so we can meet the prerequisite for Ranger Operator. And the last point goes into alertness, because you want your bodyguard to have good situational awareness. And the last +2 will go into social. With this in mind, I'm splitting up the skill points. 1 into persuasion, so when he says to back away, leave the area, you listen. And the second is into streetwise. His boss may know cultures, but he is a much more down-to-earth kind of guy. Hey, you've made it this far into the video. Thank you for that. Seems like you're liking the video, so please show that you do by hitting the thumbs up button down below. Maybe leave a comment, tell me what you're enjoying. Well, now that we have the foundation build, let's build it higher with some levels. This time we're only going to level 5 to get the complete build. Level 2. Level 2 is a great level as it gives us 2 perks. The first of which is I Can Do That, which I love. It allows them to copy a general perk or grid power that a teammate uses. So cool. And on the same line as a fast learner, the second perk, Think Fast, is useful. It modifies your initiative roll, which is always useful, and can potentially save you a story point use when accessing a tool or piece of equipment. Very handy. Level 2 also gives a speed essence, and that skill point I'm going to be putting into targeting to better level out the combat skills. Level 3. Oh yeah, level 3. This is where Rangers really shine. In addition to the automatic Zord features given by the GM based on the setting, Orange Ranger's Spectrum Zord feature is additional attack type. And for this guy, I'm going to be choosing to add an additional basic ranged attack, because that uses targeting, and melee attacks in Zord use brawn, not finesse. This level also gives us a smart essence, and since the scale of battle has gotten larger, I'm putting this into the alertness skill. Level 4. Oh, level 4, I do love you so. Level 4 lets us pick a general perk, which in this case I'm taking Never Back Down from Across the Stars. This is a very solid perk, it is short, and it is sweet. Level 4 also gives us a strength essence, so let's lean further into survival and put another point into conditioning. Level 5. Level 5 is such a strong level because it gives us 2 perks. The first is Better Together, which leans into the cunning plan, I know things aspect, and helps him do the lend assistance action better. The second is Inventive Application Level 1. This lets you pick from a short list of options. The first 2 are basically unusable thanks to the Ranger Operator Form perk, and the third one is less useful thanks to other actions. However, that free upgrade to your sidearm is extremely useful. I'd add a scope to mine, but you can choose whatever one you like. This level also gives him a social essence boost, and as far as the skill points, honestly, put them wherever you like, but I'm putting it into Streetwise. And as far as what I wanted to make with this outrageous Orange Ranger Bodyguard, I'm done. He's a big guy that can hit hard and boost the person he protects. He's smart, and he's quick, and he really should feel like a mid-boss draining the party of resources before they fight the big boss. Alternatives. While there's some piddly things that could be changed here and there, there's only one strong alternative I could mention. Instead of taking the Ranger Operator perk at the start, you could take Spectrum Shift instead, and choose to become a Gold Ranger. These are even more defensively minded, and while this is a strong option, I like the interaction of the Ranger Operator and the other elements used, and Orange Ranger to make a better Bodyguard as opposed to just Defender. Well, with all of that being said, here's where I'm going to say thank you all for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, and of course subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does. If you have enjoyed this video, check out the links down below for links to my artist, my editor, my merch market, my Patreon campaign, where you can find a variety of rewards including early access to all my videos. Thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you all on the next one. This is a special shout out to all my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. Aaron Smith, Dennis Detman, Drew Betts, Harry